5 years of racing, of competing, and of battling for individual glory brings us here. This, the qualifiers for the 6th and final Individual Quadrilla Marble League. 20 marbles are here to begin their final championship campaign, but unfortunately for 4, by the end of the qualifiers here today, their dream of being champion will be crushed. As usual in the Individual Quadrilla Marble League, we have our nominations from the Team Quadrilla Marble League. Some of the best performing teams from the Team League, that is the Pumpkin Patch, Hazelnuts, and the Venomous Vipers, has submitted their nominations here, and it's going to be Gourd for the Pumpkin Patch, Walnut for the Hazelnuts, and Python for the Venomous Vipers that will represent their teams and make their debuts in the Individual Quadrilla Marble League here today in the qualifiers. They'll be among 13 other marbles trying to join Sandstorm, Candycorn, Seabed, and Mystic Orb as the auto-qualified marbles. Top 4 overall of Season 5, they are auto-qualified for Season 6. The other 16 marbles, 12 spots in the main tournament to join those 4 marbles, and here in the qualifiers on the docket here today, the hurdles, quadrilla race, whole shot cross, and the sprint to determine who makes it to the 6th and final season. The first event, hurdles, here, a revamped version of the classic event. You can see it's 4 lanes here, an extended version of the beginning section of the obstacle course from what we saw in the Team Quadrilla Marble League. So these hurdles of quadrilla blocks will surely trip up the marbles and cause a lot of changes in the order here, and we're going to get things started with the auto-qualified marbles in the friendly round to start things off. So the friendly round in this season will be happening on the same day, and they'll act as the event demonstrators here in the qualifiers, and off they go here to start things off. Candycorn and Seabed gets the best launch. Now Mystic Orb contending for the lead. Sandstorm is also up there, and Mystic Orb more speed from the final hurdles, and they will get the win here. It was very close between the top 3 here. Seabed, coming to the final hurdle, was in front, then lack of speed out of the block means that Sandstorm and Mystic Orb will get by, and Mystic Orb, 4th place overall in Season 5, they will start in first in the friendly round after event 1. And it's Sandstorm, the defending champion, ahead of Seabed and Candycorn. But now we're going to get started for the main qualifiers here today. Tarzan, Void, Shamrock, and Denim, 2 marbles here, didn't qualify for last season. That's the 2 marbles in the bottom lane, and Shamrock has the best exit. Then it's Void and Tarzan and Denim, who's very slow out of the final hurdle, but Shamrock, undeterred, out in front. They got ahead early on and stayed ahead. The hurdles really not deterring them at all, and 5.5 seconds is the mark to beat right now by Shamrock. Void in 2nd place after a disappointing Season 5, ahead of Tarzan, who barely missed out on auto qualification. But now on to the next team. Bluetail, Ecto, Java, and Gourd, one of those nominated marbles, who's going to start well here. Out of the first hurdle, Bluetail trying to contend, but Gourd will get the win from the bottom lane. That's great for the most valuable marble of the Team Quadrilla Marble League. Lots of anticipation for them coming into this season of the Individual League. And 5.75 though, that's not quite going to be the lead. 3rd place for them, behind that leading mark. And it's Bluetail, Java, and Ecto. Now Goop, Neptune, Casper, and Walnut of the Hazelnuts, B Division champions here, and they're in the bottom lane. But Goop stretching in the top lane, and they are going to get the win here. Walnut though really fast out of the final hurdle, and despite being so far off Goop, they can't get by. They will still get into 3rd place overall, 2nd place in this race, and 3rd place overall, and Goop goes purple here. P1 for them. They are no new provisional leader. And now, just 1 heat to go here in hurdles. This is a very fast-paced event in the opener. Blizzard, Rainforest, Waver, and Python, and off they go here. It's pretty knotted out of the gate now. Rainforest starting to stretch it here, but struggling on the final hurdles, and Blizzard will get by. On the top lane, they started slow, but with Rainforest having a hiccup there, Blizzard will get by, but it's not that fast of a time. 5.83 for them. That's only good enough for 6th place. So it will be Goop that with the fastest time of the day here in hurdles, they will get the full 15 points only for the win here. Remember, it's linear scoring in the qualifier ahead of Shamrock and Walnut, nominated marble in the top 3. So it's Gourd in the top 5. Python on the other end of the spectrum, they're down in that bottom 4 along with Java, Ecto, and Denim. But still, 3 events to bring this back as we move on to the 2nd qualifier event, Quadrilla Race. But this course may look a bit different here. We've had the same course for many seasons of the Individual and the Team Quadrilla Marble League. And as a blast to the past here, course inspired by what we saw in the Individual Quadrilla Marble League all the way back in Season 1. It's a wider course here, more split paths here. Marbles will be having a 2-2 split and converge to the finish line at the end. It'll start into 2 funnels just like we usually see in the quadrilla race here. Then that middle red block divider will divide up the marbles into 2 and 2 or 3 and 1, but mostly 2 and 2 here, and we'll see how it goes with these marbles. It's going to be rather faster than what we saw in the usual quadrilla race course here, so this is not going to be eligible for records, but off they go. Candycorn and Mr. Orb on the right side, Seabed and Sandstorm on the left side. Looks like Candycorn, no, Seabed will take the lead, but Candycorn falls off the course, and Sandstorm is slow on the left side as they converge at the bottom here. Seabed will get the win, and Mystic Orb on the right side, the only marble running on the right side after Candycorn fell off, they will get into second place here. I think Sandstorm started ahead of Mystic Orb, but remember, when you're split path, you're really running your own race compared to the marbles on the other side, and Mystic Orb more speed here, didn't lose that speed in the middle of the course, unlike Sandstorm, so Mystic Orb will get into second place. So we'll see how the dynamics go with the split paths here. It's going to be very different from what we're used to in the quadrilla race, and all these marbles, despite having done many quadrilla races in the past, it's going to be either first or second time they attack a course like this. Now, Goop, Gourd, Wave Runner, and Java in the first heat. And off they go. Gourd and Wave Runner on the left side. Java well ahead of Goop on the right side, but they're going to be beaten by the left side marbles. Gourd has the lead here. Wave Runner trying to connect them from the right side, but they get halted, and Wave Runner will be stuck. They have to be pushed by Goop across the line. That's going to be very harmful to both of their times. And meanwhile, Gourd will cruise to victory here, with them well ahead of Java, who gets second place here, courtesy of Wave Runner getting stuck there. So what's the times going to look like? These are the first times that we will get to see here in the qualifiers of this course, and 12.15 for Gourd, 2/10 clear of Java there, very slow in comparison, are the back two. And with how fast of a course this could be, that could be very detrimental to those two models. Now, Shamrock, Blizzard, Bluetail, and Python here, and it's Blizzard and Python on the left side, then it's Shamrock and Bluetail on the right side. And off they go here. Blizzard looks to have the best start here on the left side. Here's Python from the right. They'll have more speed, and they'll get the win. Python from the right side, really running their own race here, managed to maintain a faster speed than Blizzard on the left, and I think Blizzard almost holding off Shamrock here. Shamrock going on the same lane as them. Shamrock went on the other lane. They might have managed to make a move on them, and Bluetail getting stuck there at the end there. They are going to get a DNF. That's terrible for them. Already didn't do that great in the first event, and they're going to go all the way back to the back. Python will go up into only third place for them, ahead of Blizzard and Shamrock. So Gourd still the time to beat. Great by that nominated marble. Now Walnut, Tarzan, Casper, and Ecto in the third of 4 heats, and off they go. You can see how fast-paced of course this is compared to what we're used to in the quadrilla race. Ecto and Tarzan from the right side. Ecto has the best exit. Casper trying to make a move from the right side here, and they're not going to be able to. Ecto will hold on for the victory here ahead of Casper. I think it was Walnut from the left side that managed to get third place after a great start in the hurdles, and Tarzan will bring up the rear here, so not great for a veteran of the individual league, one of just 4 marbles with perfect attendance, along with Ecto, Blizzard, and Bluetail. Ecto goes up into P2 just behind Gourd. Casper also P3 for them just behind Ecto. But great for that marble who got 16th last season. Now into the final heat of the quadrilla race. Void, Rainforest, Neptune, and Denim. Denim, the latter, got last place in the first event, also last place in the qualifiers last season. Need to get a move on here, but they're slow from the right side. It's Void and Neptune that get the best exit from the left side, and Void seems to be faster than Neptune, and they'll make the move on them. I think Neptune had the best exit from the left side of the funnel at the beginning, then more speed running their own race here really helped Void get by Neptune here, and then ahead of Denim and Rainforest that were a few tenths back, but Void only 5th place for them, so not the best. Still, that's top 5 for a marble that will get a second good result in a row in the qualifiers. But it's Gourd of the Pumpkin Patch that will get the win here in the quadrilla race from the very first heat. 12.15, that is good enough to get them first place in that event and in the standings thus far. It's a great job by the nominated model head of Void, and Walnut also continuing to excel here, head of Shamrock and Casper. Down below, many movers down 5 into the DNQ zone. Denim still in last place, but now we move on to an event that will be a bit slower paced here, the Whole Shot Cross. Typically, you see marbles having to get 2 strikes to be eliminated. but here in the qualifiers, in essence of time, if you get one strike, you'll be out. So it makes the stakes that much higher here in the qualifiers. You can get a strike by falling in those holes or falling on either side. Towards the ending of the course, marbles will descend down this course, and you want to use the holes to your advantage as opposed to your detriment. You can really use them to rework your direction. They can also push you off kilter, and off go the auto-qualified marbles here, and Candycorn instantly will fall in. Candycorn has finished last place in both of the first two events. They're going to finish last place in this event as well. So 3 last places for Candycorn. It's terrible for the runner-up of Season 5. Now Mr. Gourd, Seabed, and Sandstorm in round 2 here. So we'll go once we have one winner and one marble that doesn't get a single strike. The first 2 marbles are well ahead of Sandstorm here. And off they go. Mr. Gourd goes off to the far side. Seabed and Sandstorm will make it to the end. So we have our top 2. Mr. Gourd, who is leading the standings in the friendly round, they will get 3rd place in this event. And Seabed and Sandstorm taking their time here. They'll go on to round 3 here. We'll do it as many times as is required to get to one marble having a strike. So Seabed and Sandstorm making it to the end. This time Seabed will go up to the front. Sandstorm in back. Defending champion hasn't had the best of friendly rounds, but off they go here. And in the main qualifiers, it will be heats of 8, 2 heats of 8 until we have one marble that beats the rest. So off they go here. Seabed will fall in the hole fairly high up the course. They will get 2nd place, and Sandstorm, the only marble to clear 3 rounds of the whole shot cross, they will get the win in this event in the friendly round. Gets 4 points for the defending champion. And Seabed just made a beeline straight to that hole on the green block high up the course there. Very unfortunate for that marble. Still 2nd place here. They will go up into 2nd. They'll stay in 2nd. In fact, there's a 3-way tie between Sandstorm, Seabed, and Mystic Orb, all on 9 points. Candycorn, of course, cannot win the friendly round anymore. It's all to play for between those marbles. And now on to the main qualifiers here. Void, Neptune, Walnut, Tarzan, Casper, Rainforest, and 2 other marbles bring up the rear. That's Python and Waver, and it's a big split here already developing in the funnels. These marbles really want their own space here, but it's very crowded here, and 3 marbles are going to be off here. Neptune getting launched on the far side. I think that's Void also with them. They'll both get their first and only strike required to be eliminated from the whole shot cross already. And Python going off on the near side. That's another marble that isn't doing that well in the qualifiers, unlike their nominated contemporaries. So Void, Python, and Neptune, it's going to be based on, the tiebreakers will be based on how far down the course they were when they got eliminated. When they exited the course, it will be Void, Python, and Neptune in that order. So now we're already down to just 5. We will do this first heat until every single marble here gets a strike, but because of course the second heat marbles need to be compared to these marbles. So off they go here. It's very bunched up, and everyone seems to make it. No, Wave Runner will get pushed off to the near side, and they will get their strike here. Still, just making it to round 2 already has guaranteed them beating at least 3 marbles from this first heat alone, potentially many more marbles from the next heat. But Wave Runner is another marble in the DNQ zone, dropped 5 spots from the last event here. So they would have loved to continue on into round 3 and beyond. Now, 4 marbles here. Tarzan, Casper, Rainforest, and Walnut here. Walnut, nominated marble that has been so consistent in the qualifiers thus far. They aren't stopping. Surely looks to easily qualify. And hence a close pack once again as we got sent down the course. And all 4 of them will make it here. No eliminations from this 3rd round. And of course, while this doesn't give any of these marbles an advantage compared to themselves in this heat, this does help them compared to the marbles in the other heat, because they will have to do 1 extra round to catch up to these marbles. And Rainforest really getting shoved aside by these holes here, managed to recoup themselves to get to the end though. But Rainforest has some difficulty there, unlike the other 3 marbles. Now Casper up to the front, then it's Rainforest, Walnut, and Tarzan here in round 4. How many more rounds will it take to eliminate these 4 marbles? Remember, all 4 of these marbles will need to be eliminated before we move on to the next round here. Casper will make it to the end. Very close for most of the marbles here, except for 1, which is captured by the hole shot here. It is Rainforest, who had that difficulty in the last heat, and this time the holes get them once again here, pushing them to the far side, while the other 3 marbles managed to hold on. The Walnut had a scare there as well, but Rainforest will be out here. 5th place, 5th out of the 8 marbles here to be out. That'll be 4th place in this heat. Specifically, they'll be out in round 4. And now we're on to round 5 with Walnut, Tarzan, and Casper. So it's certainly going to be very good for these 3 marbles specifically. I don't imagine many marbles will make it all the way to round 5. And off they go here. Walnut leading the way. They'll go off to the near side. All the marbles are off here. The 5th round proving devilishly tricky here for these 3 marbles. Walnut off to the near side. Casper off to the near side. And Tarzan off to the far side. So who will be ruled ahead compared from these 3 marbles? It'll be Walnut here. It will be ruled ahead of Tarzan, ahead of Casper. So Walnut in provisional 1st place right now, making it only past 4 rounds out in round 5. And off we go here to the 2nd heat. Gourd down to Bluetail. And these marbles to beat Walnut and to contend for 1st place in the whole shot cross in the qualifiers here, they'll need to clear at least 5 rounds. It's very tightly packed between these marbles here. And off they go. Gourd off to the far side along with 2 other marbles. That's, I think, Tarzan or Goop. That's Goop, Gourd, and Java that are all off on the same part of the course on the far side, while the other marbles taking their time, especially for Ecto and Bluetail at the back. They will make it. So 5 marbles will make it, and 3 marbles are already done here. Goop, Java, and Gourd. I think 3 marbles that have been doing pretty well in the qualifiers. Java maybe more in the mid-pack, but Gourd up to the top, so they don't need to worry too much. Goop also kind of towards the mid-pack. They did win the 1st event, but did poorly in the 2nd event in the quadrilla race. But now on to round 2. We're already down to just 5 marbles here. This could be happening very quickly here in the whole shot cross as Blizzard gets well ahead. Wants to avoid the contact here, but they'll go off to the near side. In fact, 1 marble only will make it to the end. 4 marbles with 2 apiece from the far side and the near side, and Shamrock very close to the near side. They are the only marble to survive here in the 2nd heat. So they're going to be going by themselves in round 3 here. Well, Blizzard, Bluetail, Ecto, and Denim in that order will be exiting in round 2. So actually, Shamrock is guaranteed top 5 already, with Rainforest who got eliminated in round 4, and Walnut, Tarzan, and Casper who got eliminated in round 5. So here, running by themselves, they have the benefit of avoiding any contact here, running their own whole shot cross here, and Shamrock will clear it. Had some difficulty. They were swaying a bit from the far side to the near a little bit towards the center, and they managed to redirect themselves very nicely, and they will clear round 3. Remember, everyone that made it to round 3 in the previous heat did manage to clear. So this won't gain them any more positions, but will inch them closer to beating some of those marbles in the top 4 of the last heat. So now off they go here in round 4. How far can Shamrock go? Going by themselves. All eyes on this marble specifically. They did great in the 1st event, not as great in the quadrilla race, going off to the far side, but managed to just hold on enough, and they will clear round 4. This will put them ahead of Rainforest, which will guarantee them at least top 4 in this event. After getting 2nd place in the hurdles, this is looking great for Shamrock to qualify after failing to qualify in Season 5. And now in round 5 here. Remember, this is when the top 3 of the last heat all went out at the same time. So if Shamrock makes it here, it will guarantee a victory in this qualifier event. And off they go here. Highly anticipating is Walnut specifically, the provisional leader here. But here comes Shamrock to the near side, almost gets tripped up, but managed to use the hole to their advantage to redirect themselves back to center. Perfect use of the holes in the whole shot cross here by Shamrock. That is how you do it in this event, and Shamrock will capture a well-deserved victory in this 3rd qualifier event. 15 points to their name. They will beat Walnut, who will get 2nd place, and it's 3rd and 4th Tarzan and Casper from that 1st heat. But Shamrock, the only marble that went far in the 2nd heat, and managed to be the only marble to not get a single strike. With that 15 points, they will automatically guarantee their qualification along with Walnut, who is already qualified, and Casper. Very unlikely set of 3 qualifiers before the final event. But down below, we have 4 marbles that really need to get a move on, with a bit of a gap up to 12th place and that cutoff zone. Here, the final test of the qualifiers, the final chance for marbles to make a push to get in that top 12. It's the sprint, a straight blast to the finish line. Every marble is very familiar with this event, of course. Very simple. It's just a simple test, a pure test of speed in this qualifier event. and we wouldn't have it any other way to determine who makes it to the 6th and final season of the Individual Quadrilla Marble League. So Sandstorm, Seabed, Mystic Orb, and Candycorn. Remember, everyone aside from Candycorn is already tied in the standings here. So it's pretty much winner takes all between those three, and Mystic Orb will get the win here. Seabed catching them, trying to get by them, but just did not have enough room. And Mystic Orb from the 3rd lane here, Foster in the lane section, and holds on in the open section to get first place here. They will win the friendly round. For the Marble, 4th place in Season 5, beating 3rd place in Season 5, Seabed and Sandstorm, who got 3rd place in the friendly round here, with 4th place in that one event. Candycorn will at least salvage one event here where they don't get dead last. That's a bit of a reprieve for them. But now on to the event here in the qualifiers. Walnut, Ecto, Java, and Denim here. Denim desperately needs something in dead last in the qualifiers right now. Walnut, of course, already qualified. The middle two marbles also won a good result here, and they're going to be out in front. Ecto will get the win here. Very fast time for them, it looked like. And Java in the 3rd lane, a marble that also, former champion in Season 3, didn't qualify for last season. They're trying desperately to qualify here, not repeat that disaster in Season 5. And they, I think, should be okay here. With a decent time here, they're in the mid-pack. Java should be fine. Ecto definitely will be fine here towards the top of the standings with this event for sure. And Denim 3rd place. I'm not sure if that'll be enough. We'll have to hope for many marbles to be slower here as we get on to Shamrock, Void, Wave Runner, and Bluetail. Surprisingly, Bluetail is still in that bottom 4. A demon in the sprint, though. Can they use that to their advantage here? They will get the win here. A slow start for Bluetail, but they managed to use their prowess in the sprint to get ahead in the open section. The question is, will the time be good enough here? How will it stack up to Ecto in the first heat? Wave Runner also fairly down there. They'll get 2nd place here. This is good for the marble, fairly down in the standings. And Bluetail goes 2nd place, 4.16. That's a great time for them. But we'll have to see what the other models can do. It's still very precarious for Bluetail and Wave Runner. Now, Casper, Gourd, Goop, and Neptune here. Casper, of course, already qualified. Gourd, poor event in the Culture Course, hasn't guaranteed their qualification, but Neptune from the bottom lane will get the win. That's also much needed for them. Also, down in the DNQ zone for Neptune, who got dead last in the Whole Shot Cross, just the previous event. So how will this compare to Ecto? How will this compare to Bluetail, a marble they're in direct competition for qualification here? Goop in 2nd place, and Neptune goes P2, 4.14, 200ths clear of Bluetail. That could be pivotal for them to qualify. Now, in the final heat of this event and the qualifiers as a whole, Tarzan, Blizzard, Rainforest, and Python here. None of these marbles have guaranteed qualification. Python, though, desperately needs this. Tarzan from the top lane will get out in front. Rainforest drafting with them across the line. They will get into 2nd place and look very fast in that open section. Python looking very precarious here, slowing down in the open section. Does not look like a good time for them. And Blizzard in the mid-pack of the standings coming to the event should be fine for them. Python is looking very dire for them. Tarzan and Rainforest go 1 and 2 here. 4.03 and 4.08. They have punched their ticket into the main season here. Ecto in 3rd place. They should have done enough as well. But Neptune and Bluetail in 4th and 5th. Both marbles in the DNQ zone coming to this event. Will this be enough for them to qualify? We're waiting to see who has made it and who hasn't. As Neptune, Bluetail haven't made it. Python and Denim were pretty much doomed after the sprint heat, but Neptune and Bluetail specifically, a perfect attendee, out in the qualifiers here. They are not qualifying. Neptune by 1 point, them and Bluetail will miss out, but it's Tarzan, Shamrock, Rainforest, Walnut, Ecto, Casper, Blizzard, Goop, Void, Gourd, Java, and Wave Runner that have qualified for the 6th and final Individual Quadrilla Marble League. It's heartbreak for Neptune, Bluetail, Python, and Denim. They will still be eligible to be the demonstrators for the events in the main season, but it's absolute heartbreak for those 4 marbles. They will be out in the Individual Quadrilla Marble League qualifiers here today. Thank you so much for watching these qualifiers. What an intense set of qualifiers we've had today. And we have our final roster in the Individual Quadrilla Marble League set. So we'll see you next week for the opener in the sprint. So we'll see you then.